Bryant, are you crazy?
I'm not crazy. Look at me. Look how many rings I have. I just want to say this. For the last 10 games, I'm shooting 50% from the field. I'm getting 24.3 points per game and 6.8 assists per game. That's right, Nick. I do know how to pass the ball. Not only am I improving my game offensively, but defensively also. And right now, our only problem is Dwight. He sees the free throw line about 10 times a game, and he only makes 4 of them.
Now, let me jump in, Kobe. Does Dwight Howard need to be coddled to be successful? Coddled? Does he need to be treated like a baby?
Well, he's been treated like a baby. He's a baby. Look at him. But you know what? He's getting all the attention, and you know it's kind of disappointing. We are a team. He needs to step up and do what he's done in Orlando.
That's true, Kobe. Now, if this team does get into the playoffs, we know that's not good enough. How do you foresee the playoffs going for this Lakers squad? Can you make a deep run legitimately in the West?
Do you want the truth, or you want...
I want the truth, Kobe. That's what we do on Sports Scene.
I would say yes, but if I was being honest, no. Look at us. We are a mess.
Then how are you going to make the playoffs?
Magic.
Hope. Well, all you need to do really is find that 8 seed. A few teams are probably going to fall in front of you. Houston may falter a little bit. We'll see how that goes, Kobe. I do like your blatant honesty. I'm going to give you 10 points for admitting nothing's going to go on to happen in the playoffs for you guys. One final question, a little bit more serious, Kobe. You recently lost your historic owner, Jerry Buss. Talk about his impact on the Lakers and in your career.
Well, he created the Lakers pretty much. I mean, without him, you wouldn't have the names you would have had. You wouldn't have Magic Johnson. You wouldn't have me. You wouldn't have Shaq. You wouldn't have anyone. So, big shout out to him for creating the Lakers.
Absolutely. Kobe, big shout out to you for making the trip to La Crosse. We appreciate it. Good luck. Final guest on set, not a Hall of Famer, but an MVP. A very young career in the making. It has not come to fruition this year. Derrick Rose. Sir, you tore your ACL last season. Many expected you to be back at some point this season, although that is yet to happen. You've been back on the court for a little over a month. You've been seen dunking, but you are still proceeding with caution. Derrick Rose, will you be back this season?
Yo, dog, man. Sometimes I think I'm better than Michael Jordan. I play when it matters. So I might as well wait for the playoffs, because without me last year, we were #1 seed, dog. And we lost in the first round when I got hurt. I don't care if we 7th, 8th seed. I don't want to risk injury in the reg season, yo. I just want to play in the playoffs when it matters. It's all about me. But you know what? I just hope my brother shuts the heck up sometimes on his Twitter feed. But I think with me, we can beat anybody.
All right, Derrick, you feel you can contend with anybody in the East once you come back?
You bet, man. I mean, the Heat, come on. LeBron's a choker, and...
Well, LeBron showed last season that he's anything but a choker.
Yeah, but...
You okay over there? Is the pressure getting you, Derrick?
Yeah, it's the hot lights.
Derrick Rose, one final question for you. If you were to come back this season, which it sounds like you're intending to, is it worth the long-term risk of re-aggravating that injury to rattle off a few playoff wins and ultimately fall in the Eastern playoffs?
My season starts in the playoffs, yo. Like, regular season, we'll make it. Luol Deng, he'll do his thing. You know, Joakim Noah's how to play D and rebound. So I ain't too worried. Just put me in the playoffs, yo, and we'll be all set. I'll be back.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Derrick. And, boy, thanks a lot. We're going to go ahead and give Derrick's points to Brad Stevens, who was a very kind gentleman. Very, very nice. We're going to head to break. Our second segment is over. When we come back, we'll reconfigure the points and head to our last and final round. Before that, let's stop and take a look at what makes our UWL campus so unique.
Fact: University of Wisconsin-La Crosse is ranked the #2 college in the Midwest.
UW-La Crosse is ranked number 34 for out-of-state students among public universities nationwide.
UW-La Crosse is ranked as one of the most military-friendly schools in the nation.
UW-La Crosse is number 24 among medium colleges and universities for Peace Corps volunteers.
Welcome back into Sports Scene. We're glad you're joining us. We're about to begin the final round of the game, but before we find out who wins, let's check out the scores so far. We've got a three-way tie for first place through 2 rounds. Hailey, Grayson, and Steph all with 20, and Zach, who had a bad run-in with Derek Rose, sitting in last place with 10 points. We now move on to the NFL and the hometown Green Bay Packers. Since winning Super Bowl 45, the past 2 seasons have ended in disappointment for Green Bay, an embarrassing loss to the Giants, and a tub-thumping from the 49ers this year in the divisional round. A lot of questions are being asked about how to reformulate this team so they can contend with the 49ers, who look to be a perennial power. If you're Ted Thompson, what are you doing this offseason to improve your roster? We'll start with Zach.
If I'm Ted Thompson, I would just get rid. Scratch that. I think I would entertain the idea of franchising him, because I think a lot of teams want
franchising Greg Jennings.
Franchising Greg Jennings, because a few years ago we did that with Corey Williams and we got a 2nd-round pick. Other than that way we get something out of him. We didn't have him for over half the season, and all of our receivers stepped in great. I think we need to keep Finley. He is a matchup problem. Yeah, he had the problems with the drops, but in the second half of the year he came upon and he was catching a lot of passes, and Finley is a beast. We need to keep him. He does drop, but Jennings, I think we signed the tender. I think we can get a trade out of him. If not, if we don't know we can get a trade out of him, then I think we might franchise Finley, because the tender for tight ends is about $5 million. So I think.
Hailey, do you think it's realistic to assume Green Bay will franchise Greg Jennings? He'll make more money than Rodgers if that's the case.
You know, I do not think that they should put a franchise tag on Jennings. I am kind of not really opposed to it, just because I don't like Finley that much. I think he's too injury prone. He costs too much money. He has too big an ego. But I'm also not sure if we should keep Jennings either, just because he's nearing in on 30. I mean, I can see him starting for the next few seasons, but I think that he's just going to be getting a little too old. And it's going to be a tough choice, but they have
Grayson, whether you want to talk Jennings or anything, if you're Ted Thompson,
if I was
Ted
Thompson, first thing I'm going to go out and sign Colin Jenkins. Good pass rusher on the D-line.
Just releasing
Next,
the Eagles.
I'm going after a running back. I'm not getting Steven Jackson, because he's going to hit 30 next year. That's the graveyard for running backs. I'm getting Ahmad Bradshaw, because he is lightning quick and he can catch the ball out of the backfield, which is all we really need for my running backs. Next, I'm going to focus in on the draft. I'm going to take Barrett Jones, or an interior lineman. I'm going to go to a D lineman, outside linebacker, Marcus Lattimore, Marquise Goodwin out of Texas, who's a playmaker at wide receiver. I'm just going to fuel up with playmakers in the draft so we can make a run at these Niners.
Steph?
Well, I think we need to draft some defensive tackles or offensive tackles. I mean, since Saturday's gone from center, we need someone on the line who's going to be a leader, and defensively we need a pass rusher. So that's who we need to draft.
We need a kicker, too.
Absolutely. Well, I got a few other questions here about Green Bay, and I guess, Zach, we'll start with you here. What can you do in the draft in terms of the first round? If you have a person that you're zoning in on or a position you're zoning in on, what's your need in round one?
I think middle linebacker or offensive line would be a smart decision, but man, if there's a playmaking safety available, possibly. But I think middle linebacker, maybe Monte Teo falls down to us. Yeah, he did do that great at the combine, but you know, he does do good on the field. So and he had 7 interceptions last year. So I wouldn't mind taking